When a company scales, the role of CTO scales. We talk about the 4S's: shielding, stretching, speeding, and sales. Go check that out. Right now, we're going to talk about what shielding entails. Shielding is really that role that the CTO has, looking out for the future of the company, making sure we've got our T's crossed, I's dotted, in order to make sure that we don't get caught off guard by something in the future. Intellectual property, we want to make sure we're compliant. We want to make sure that our systems are secure, and we want to maintain our competitive advantage. So protecting our ideas. So right now, let's talk about what it looks like to protect your intellectual property. So let's take a look at your company. Company has a product, company has people and SOPs and ways of doing things. The one that gets talked about the most probably is patenting. So how do I protect my intellectual property from being stolen, copied, used out in the marketplace? So there are various ways in which you can go and make sure that you have exclusionary rights to your inventions and your ideas. The next thing you can do is to really think about your people and to maintain trade secrets. Now, these are ideas and ways of doing things that you do not disclose out to the world. You keep that inside of your company, inside of your employees, and no one talks about that. Copyrights, everything that we do cannot be copied. We look at trademarks. If you have a brand or if you want to start putting something out in the market and you don't want someone else to imitate you or pretend like they're you, you do trademarks. And then there's general know-how. That could be the tricks of the trade, but not necessarily secret. Around all of this, we want to make sure that we have our agreements in place, our non-disclosure agreements, our confidentiality, employment contracts. Go and assess the risk and start working on which protections are appropriate for you. Now let's look at the inside of your company. So sometimes the greatest risk to your company is actually from the inside. Access to your systems, authorization. Sometimes happy employees could inadvertently disclose things and put things out in public domain that should be kept secret. Your SOPs and your licensing and your agreements, what your developers are bringing in-house. These are all things that should be monitored. And then, of course, your unhappy employees or people who end up leaving the company. So take a look at your access, confidentiality agreements, and your contracts. And definitely make sure that you know how to handle employees that exit the company. So those are just a couple really quick ways to look into how you can shield your company as CTO.